chance now.
Yeah.
Your audience will see it in a moment.
Yeah, I haven't seen the channel. I'm looking. I'm doing a search for that.
Let me see if I can see it myself because I don't have it here.
This is a super hidden channel.
Well, it has like 0 viewers or anything.
0 subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could probably send me a channel link in the.
Yeah, I can't even find it for myself. I can't find myself in the thing. Oh, that's pretty bad.
That's funny.
But it's not showing on the thing.
It's not under your name either.
I don't even know how to look for it.
If you go to YouTube, you got to find your channel. You can just copy the link to your channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Hang on.
That's hysterical.
Switch accounts. How the hell do I switch account here? Oh, here we go. How do I send a link to somebody?
I think it's I think you just take the link off the
Oh, I think it is streaming. Hang on.
You just take the link off the top of the window.
Oh,
some of the IP address, and then just put in the thing here, and then I'll find it, and then theoretically, I can open it in. We're professionals. If somebody's watching this, we are professionals.
We are so professional. Most professional. Dude, come on, give me the freaking. Keep all my like videos private. Come on, this is not it. See if I can. Okay, stream resumed. Okay, so I'm having problems streaming this. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's not a big deal.
Okay. How the hell do I get my own thing? Because I'm in the app. I'm in the app thing.
Looking.
Videos. Let's try the live stream. There we go. Come on. Gotta be a link here.
Oh, so you're an app doing it?
I'm looking on the phone because I don't want to mess with. I'll open another window. Maybe that's.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, you go to your channel. You hit the on the left on right here. You hit your little icon, and then it goes to my channel, and then in my channel, I think you just what is it? Yeah, you hit and once you're in my channel, you hit the 3 dots here, and then one of the links things that come up is share. And they'll let you copy the link.
There you go.
Sorry, man, I've done this a lot. I mean, the first thing it says copy the link. Sorry, I didn't realize you're using
amateur.
That's right.
That's all we have.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh man, really that was painful. I didn't know you were in the phone. Okay, there you go. Hey, that's cool. At least you figured out how to do it. You're like a step ahead of me here.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. We're ready to rock, or kind of. Let's. Did we send it to everyone? Yeah. Well.
You know what? That's what I should do is actually.
It's in Cool Kids. I don't know. We can always have people link it over here later. We could link Brian and whatnot.
Right. You're like a step. Share this video. There we go. Hold on, I'm gonna share the video.
Okay, let's look real quick through these cards. Some adversary cards. All right, so if anybody ever watches this, what we're trying to do here is just practice a little Star Wars. We're learning the system, and we're going to try and just run something completely off the cuff. So if you see us hesitating or looking up rules, that's basically what we're doing, right? We're making this up as we go along. Hopefully this will be of use to somebody, and if not, it's a record for ourselves, right? Which at the end of the day, I suppose is the most important thing to do. Just have something we can refer to. So let me look at some cards here. I think this guy will do.
Yeah, okay, we're linked to the Facebook group. We're linked.
Oh, are we? Oh, wow. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully our friends will pop in and make fun of us too. So that's all good. All right. So we got we're just gonna run this. I just thought of a situation we could put our protagonist 1V4N, who is a pilot droid. Is that correct? Give us a little.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. He was owned. I think I originally made him for Edge of the Empire, almost a year ago, and so he originally was a kind of like a smuggler archetype. In fact, let's see if I actually have the picture here, so that I can read off what he had. He was originally a smuggler, so that was his career, and his specialization tree was pilot. And I envisioned him as looking kind of like that Imperial droid in Rogue One, but not Rogue One. Was it Rogue One? Yeah, it was Rogue One, but like slimmed down. The idea that the 1V series or whatever we're going to call them were like they're meant to look like humans. They're meant to be human sized. They're meant to replace humans in various tasks where maybe a human just wouldn't want to do it. So they're not made to look really nice. They're not made, but they're not made to be completely alien either. And if anything, their one fault, they're very capable, they're very dexterous and all that sort of stuff. Their one fault is they tend to have pretty bad personalities. I mean, it's because they get abused, because they get put in the situations where nobody else wants to do anything. So he was, we started off in that original adventure in Edge of the Empire. I think that kind of, I forget what it's called, but the idea
the beginner box, yeah.
Right, it was like escape from this particular hut whose name escapes me at the time, but
Timo the Hut.
But I think we went Timo. That's right. Okay, and I've got that. I've got the notes right here. Okay, so it's Timo. So I was there with Jaster and Mathis and Baltheus or Blake this, and I think we had R5K3. I think we had some droid die. Like that was piloting. Yeah, but I went with the idea that. Man, I think a Rodian actually owned me. He was supposed to be one of the other characters, maybe 1B from the hut. And so that was in between then and our start on the planet that was the system was being taken over in our force. What is it? Help me out here.
I don't remember.
The one with your rebels
campaign.
When you're rebel. No, the book when you're rebel scum, for crying out loud. I was just reading a minute ago. Age of Rebellion. So the idea is something happened in between then from Age of Rebellion. I think one of the things I haven't done with that character, I thought I did, and either my notes are actually in our Facebook group because I couldn't find them on paper anywhere, was I had to change 1v4N's
instead of
duty, he doesn't have obligation anymore.
Exactly.
He's got duty.
Correct.
And that's something that, and I think I had to look at what his motivation was, and he's not something that's he's not motivated by droid rights. It's not his thing.
Correct.
All
right. So so let's go with this idea that you're owned by the Rodian smuggler in the meantime, right? This could take place before in between both campaigns, right? In between the Edge of the Empire and in between Age of Rebellion. That's the beauty of droids. You can move them around through time, and they remain the same, basically. So I'm thinking that do you have a name for this Rodian master of yours, or?
You know, we had one. I want to say, gosh, I think Sam was going to play that thing, and I can't remember what his name.
That's true. Let's call him Reap.
Reap is as good as any because he is a jerk.
Yeah. So you find yourself on a planet in the Outer Rim. Reap has been doing some smuggling in this part of the galaxy, and he has been having trouble because he was supposed to deliver some items, and his land speeder was impounded by the local authorities. So
typical.
Exactly. So the contraband that he is supposed to deliver is hidden in some secret compartment behind one of the cushions of the seat of the speeder. And well, he is busy right now trying to clear things at the spaceport, and he has sent you 1v4N to go to the Imperial impound and see if you can steal back that speeder.
Oh, that's just fabulous. This is fantastic. You've got to be kidding me. Mm-hmm. I meant for better than this.
Yes.
Not a common thief. I'm an exceptional pilot.
And this is a backwaters world, so, Imperial security is not top-notch. It's a rainy, rocky planet. This town is, it's the most heavily industrial town in the small planet. It's where the spaceport is, so it kind of makes sense. But there's not going to be elite troops right at the area of the impound.
And there's going to be no elite troops, but there are going to be troops.
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
I hate my job, and I hate Reap more than anything else.
So, you managed to make your way to the area of perhaps via the local transportation system, which is a beat-up, monorail car system that takes you near the area of the police station, and you're standing like on a platform. It's a raised platform, and you can see down, through the rain, the local small security force garrison, right? Like the police station, and next to that is the lot where the impounded cars and stuff are kept. It's not very large. There's not that many vehicles in there. You can see clearly Reap's speeder. There is a security droid at the gate to the area. The gate is closed, but the security droid is standing like next to it. And it's fenced with some sort of perimeter security. So you can see from this side. This side is looking at the street, correct? So it's a whole thing, and the
right.
gate. The gate where vehicles would come and go is there, guarded by a single. It's an old security, Roger, old relic from the Clone Wars, left over watching this place.
Oh, that's better. That's better. For a second, I thought I was in trouble. But there's things to know about 1v4N. There's a couple unusual things, and there's some not so unusual. Well, There's just some things. The most unusual thing about him really isn't him. It's the fact that he has this big blaster carbine, which he found completely by chance in a bar. So it's kind of unusual to see a droid walking around with a sidearm, especially such a big one. But
no, maybe
he's got one.
You could have like a satchel, like a bag to carry it at least, right?
That's a very good idea. But he likes that. In fact, when he was if I recall correctly, in our game, when we got to one point, there were actually droids outfitted with blaster arms, and he turned to the mechanic, which I think was Mathis, and said, "I want one of those." We're all done with this. True. He never got it, but
that's true.
1B4N got pretty enamored with that. But the other thing to know about 1B4N is his presence is a 1. So, which he's a jerk, but consequently, he's not going to be terribly coercive.
All right.
Well, but anyhow,
there might be other approaches. That's just one way to go about it.
That is absolutely true. So I think at this point he's going to go for more of a deceptive approach with this battered up old droid as opposed to some kind of coercion. Although let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna go. He actually does have some skill in deception as well.
Oh,
that's not so bad.
That's good.
So he's gonna walk up to this old security droid, and I'm here to make a routine check on the impounded speeder, one of the impounded speeders, and he gives a serial number.
All right, so the droid looks at you up and down and says, I require authorization for access to the impound. Let's take a real quick look here at deception. It's probably opposed by cunning or intellect. I don't know. Probably cunning. I mean,
it is. I was just looking at this a moment ago, actually.
It's opposed by discipline, and discipline goes off of willpower, actually. That's page 118 of the Age of Rebellion book. Just in case.
Right.
All right. So what do you say to that? Do you tell me what you tell him? And when he
requires authorization. I have security authorization Alpha Delta 49 from Garrison Commander, Zeno Brown Jr. just like this ridiculous barrage of crap.
All right. So that's going to see the difficulty is going to be 1 purple die, but
that's all he's got.
I'm thinking, that's all he's got. He's not very smart, but that lie that you're throwing in there, it's not very good, and it's not really backed up.
It sure isn't.
By any documentation. So let's put 2 black setback dice on it. Oh, and before we proceed, we should roll a force die and see how many light side or dark side points we have here. Destiny points.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna roll this here. Oh, I've got 2.
Oh,
nice.
That's excellent. So let's mark him up here. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so make your pool 1 purple.
Oh, that's right. You don't roll at all.
No, you make your pool.
I haven't rolled anything. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I'm confusing that with Genesis, who actually everybody. Here's a time to stop for a second.
Sure.
I was reading that, and I wonder, man, why doesn't Genesis use a die like that, like a story die? Because the mechanic in that, as opposed to like every player rolling a force die. Is every player puts 1 player story point. So they put a white story point. They put a white destiny point, is what it boils down to. And the GM puts 1 black one. And then every time a player uses it, it flips.
Exactly.
So the game starts out very heavy. Yeah, but except it starts out very heavily weighted in the player side. But then of course, to make things work, they give it to the GM as well, but it's not the same. It's not that random kind of element, which I like better.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting.
And I'm not
sometimes you start with like the universe, stacked against you.
Stacked against you, which I kind of like. I mean, I think if it played or when I play something different in Genesis, I would definitely use something like this because it's so random, as opposed to like you're starting really heavily. Like we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff on our side, and then we're going to throw a whole bunch of stuff towards the GM. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. So I've got one difficulty die. I've got 2 setback dice. My deception is yellow and green, but I think I'm going to actually spend one of those Destiny pools because this is and upgrade the green die to a yellow die.
Okay. So it's going to be
so I'm going to roll 2 proficiency.
2 yellows, 1 purple, and 2 black.
Yep. Okay, let's make sure that I don't have anything else. And we're going to see what happens. And, what's the success with a whole bunch of threat?
Well, you succeed, but you get some threat. Yeah, that's interesting. So
3 threat.
Yeah. Let's take a look at what, the skill guide would have us believe the threat is. Target see through part of the lie, knows has been lied to. So this is what happens, because it's 3 threats, so it's pretty hefty, right?
It's pretty bad.
So yeah,
it's pretty bad.
I think you spill off a line of this number authorization code. It's like 35BB210035BB, and then the droid starts, like, you can hear the whirring in his brain, and he's for a moment he's just stuck. Thinking. So he's not even doing anything. You're free to go through.
Yeah, and that's
and
in fact that was my intent. Mm-hmm. Just I know that series enough that I know that you can just go fast enough you can confuse them for a second.
Yeah, and
but
you got some time.
If you're lucky, they buy it. If you're unlucky, they figure it out.
But, as soon as he finishes cycling through all the number code, he may, he's going to figure out that something is wrong and he's going to call. So you got to move.
Yeah. So, I'm going pretty fast now, just trotting over to this thing. But I'm not going to run because I don't want to cause attention to myself. But I'm just going to go like I'm on a mission. So going up to this shuttle or the speeder as fast as possible.
All right.
And getting right in. I look around. I don't want to like actually look for the contraband in plain sight, Because I'm almost tempted just to take that, but he really wants his speeder, not just the contraband.
Yeah, the speeder and the contraband, right? It's used.
Yeah, he wants the whole darn thing. Money. Okay, well, I'm sitting in. I'm turning the sucker over.
All right. So there is, it's in the impound, so it's not really restricted in any other fashion, so you can turn it on actually. Right. You just have to maneuver it out of the parking lot. So as you turn it on and it's it starts to lift up and get some good cushion here. It's not an air speeder, it's just a land speeder. And as you're wheeling it out and starting to move to the exit, then you see that the 1B suddenly stops computing and turns around and looks at you and says, halt, code authorization denied, does not match security protocols, stop. And then it raises a blaster carbine and points it at you. So I think this is probably a good point to roll initiative.
It is. And
so initiative,
and we need to flip one of those. We need to flip one of those points, right? The destiny point or the.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We should need to make one of those black.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
You just click it directly, so I did it.
Okay. I gotcha.
So initiative, if you know what's coming, it's basically cool. Vigilance is more like
you get surprised.
It's how alert you are to some sort of surprise. So we roll cool, which goes off of presence. So if you have the presence skill, you can actually.
That. I got one. I've got one die. I have nothing in cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1V for all's agility is just terrible with initiative.
Yeah, well, don't feel too bad because our friend the security droid is about the same as you are. So
okay,
here we go, and he has nothing on that die.
Nothing.
So yeah, and you got 2.
Oh, and I have. That's unbelievable.
So you are on top of the initiative here. So
right.
remember,
I'm just my.
Yeah, you got a maneuver, you got a regular action, and you get a free action, which is called an incidental. So you can take one of each. It's easy. Incidentals is just like, flipping the ignition key, opening doors, dropping something from your hand. But actions are anything that you need to roll dice for. So any skill, including like the combat checks, that's an action. And maneuver is everything that doesn't fall into either of those categories. So, things like aiming and things like getting up and stuff like that. So I don't know if there's like...
So now it's for incidental. Would like getting a weapon count as that? Like if I take the sack off or take the carbine out of my satchel or drop the satchel?
No, that counts as
is that an incidental
maneuver. If you draw the gun from anywhere, it counts as a maneuver. You can spend 2 strain to get an extra maneuver, and you have a maximum of 2 maneuvers per turn. Or you could use 1 maneuver to draw the gun. You could use 1 maneuver to aim it, which would would help you shoot, and you can use the action to shoot. For example, it's the kind of thing you can do. So, all
right. Well, I think my plan is to use a maneuver just to get the blaster out. I'm not going to shoot anybody with it right now. I just want to have it at the ready in case I need it. Because my action is to floor it.
Oh, excellent.
And point it right at the droid.
Oh, that's excellent. So let's I think we should just
just yanking it out and just punching it.
Yeah, I think you could just do it as a piloting check against say the maybe the droid's agility as the difficulty, right? Because it's got to get out of the way, and there's a speeding vehicle coming at him. So
that sounds right.
So yeah, let's do that. Let's have you take 2 purple dice for difficulty. You roll your piloting skill versus 2 purple dice. Do I want to modify that? Let me see. Oh wait, you removed a destiny point. Hang on. There we go.
Oh, sorry. I hit the wrong thing.
Do we want to modify that? I don't think so. I think it's starting to rain, but it's not so bad that it's going to affect your visibility, at least not yet. So go for it. See what happens.
Okay, let's see. What let's look at my gosh. I had some wonderful talent. See that actually I'm a skilled jockey, so even if it started raining, I can remove one setback die from piloting checks.
That's good to keep in mind.
So
because
I'm so awesome. Yeah. I'm trying to remember all this stuff. Okay, so my skill is let's see, my planetary piloting. There we go. I was on my wrong skill. My planetary piloting is 2 greens and 1 yellow.
Oh, nice.
And my I sunk a lot into piloting with both of them. And my space piloting is even worse or better, So I'm gonna roll this sucker here, and then it's okay. 2 successes.
Oh, excellent.
Wow. I had a couple failures. Actually, there were 4 successes before 2 failures took that out, and a threat and an advantage canceled each other.
Oh, hang on. Why am I not seeing that? I don't see the results on Owen Mead. Do you see the results?
Yeah, I do. Huh. I had a thing happen with my computer the other day where I had to restart Owen Mead. Like I had to get out of it and get back into it. But here they are.
Let me read. No, that's okay. It's just.
Look at them. They're right there.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
Boom.
Wow, and he actually almost managed to get out of the way. Look at that. He had 2. You had 2 failures from his purple dice, so it's like he's making it good. Now there's probably a collision here somewhere in the rules. Let's see if we can find it real quick just to see how that is. We said we weren't going to look over the book too much, but we might as well try and get familiarized with this. I think it's It's the damage when it changes to the personal scale. You know, here we go saying we're not going to mess with the vehicles, and the first thing we do is go.
Hey, listen, that's why not?
Yeah.
What do you look for? Getting hit by a vehicle. How much damage to a vehicle does a droid cause? When these are important things to know.
Yeah. It should be, you know, because the thing here is the silhouette change, right? Because it's hitting the, or it might be so severe that it just destroys whatever you hit. Don't see it. And do we actually have stats for a speeder? I don't think they're in this book. Is this the one book you have, The Age of Rebellion?
No, I've got the what do you call it?
So, because I know that the speeder stats are in
Edge of the Empire.
Force and Destiny has land speeders.
Okay.
Okay, so you know, I'll just take this down if you have a note. They're really simple. It's just 2 silhouette and 2 speed. That's probably all you need to know. Yeah. So 2 silhouette and 2 speed, and we have any speeder bikes here? Speeder bikes in the other game. Yeah, because of course there's going to be pursuit. So you know what? Let's not get bogged down in this whole collision thing, because I don't think we're going to find it in the cold like that. So, you know, you run over the droid. It just goes under.
Poor guy.
And, but it manages to, you know, it sent a signal to the garrison that you are coming. So, you know, there's a security breach. It turns on the alarm. And as you're rounding the corner, and, you know, the speeder skids a little bit, you hear noises from the station, and a speeder bike emerges from the station with a stormtrooper on it. And then you see that it starts flashing a colored light, and you hear a magnified voice saying, attention, attention, halt, you are, that is stolen property, halt.
Stolen property, So I'm going to try to, at this point, see if I can lose them in the crowd. That's my first intent. Is see if I can do some fancy. Well, it's a speeder, so I really can't go up or down too much. That's bad.
No, but you can move. So we could do a chase, which is great. The way the speed works is your vehicle silhouette is 2. The maximum speed for the car is 2. Now, the way this works is they work like the stat and the ability, not the stat, the skill and the ability. So, you know, whichever is higher, the speed or 1/2 of the silhouette. The smaller number turns the other pool into yellows, right? So, so that's actually the difficulty. I'm sorry, that's the difficulty to pilot. So, if you're driving your speeder at a speed of 1. Then you would roll 1 red die. That would be all you would roll. If you increase speed to 2, then you would roll 1 green and 1 purple and 1 red as your difficulty, and that's your basic piloting thing. So you're going to start. We're going to use the same ranges as Same ranges as personal combat. So it's engaged would be like side by side. It'll be short range, medium, long, and extreme. So I'm going to say that this guy starts at short range from you because he's just pulling out right behind you. So the way this works is you want to do opposite checks, right? Comparative checks. You both roll against your own difficulties, and whoever gets the most successes increases the range band by 1. If you are moving faster than he is, you can increase 2 bands on one success, right? That's how that would work. So that's your incentive for maybe going faster, if you want to go faster. That is. Let me just take.
I'm gonna punch it.
Bike.
I'm gonna punch it.
Yeah.
So punching it means it's a purple and a red.
Yeah. What we're gonna do we're gonna do each round. We're just gonna do the piloting checks. To start, and then you can do maneuvers and whatnot in addition. This usually works better with like 2 people, so someone can do combat. But we're gonna do a pure chase and see what happens. So let me.
Or to start out as a pure chase.
Yeah, that's true. So he's gonna start at a speed of 2 as well. So so it's gonna be red and purple for him as well, and.
So it looks like, I mean, if we're using the same kind of maneuvers for starships here as for starships, then if I
let's just call it a chase, and what we're going to do is piloting checks each round to see if you can open up the distance and lose him, right? Because that's your intention, losing him, and he's just going to try and close with you. So what we're going to do is oppose checks, and then. Depending on the successes that you get, if you get like triumphs and stuff, then maybe you can make things harder for him. Or if you choose to go to certain types of terrain, maybe the terrain will impose difficulties. And if he starts missing those checks,
that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to go to some different kinds of terrain, the marketplace.
All right. So
first, I'm just gonna punch it.
Exactly. Again, difficulty is 1. It's just 1 red. Oh no! Wait, it's 2 dice. Yeah, because you're punching it. It's 1 purple and 1 red. Correct.
Yeah. Right.
And then his piloting skill is. All right, so I'm gonna roll. Here we go. Did you roll your check?
I did not yet. Wait.
Okay, so here he goes. Ooh.
Oh man!
So
double despair.
Despairs. Yeah. So it's him and you having despairs, and
we both succeed.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. You both succeed. Okay, so if you both succeed, nobody really gets...
we both have a succeed.
Yeah, I'm going to say that nobody really... The range doesn't change. You stay at short range. Short, the correct nomenclature? Yeah, short range. But let's see what we can do with those
and he has 1 advantage, and I have 2 advantages left over. So it's a success with a couple advantages and a despair.
Yeah, so that despair. Okay, so you're pulling out of the station, and you're starting to move through the paved streets, right? But you hit traffic, and the area, there's a lot of ground traffic, and you can see a couple of air speeders above, but barely any air traffic, right? It's just heavy ground traffic. Most of the commerce in this part of the city is all ground traffic. So it's speeders, right? Speeder trucks, speeder bikes, all of that. So you come to the spot where the traffic is so heavy you can't go inside the traffic, and you are forced to make a turn into an alley. And taking the turn to this alley, you actually bump into a car that's waiting in line. So we're going to do a minor collision for that to spare. Did you find the stats for that speeder? Let's take it down. Let's see what else it has. It has a hull threshold of 3 and a strain threshold of 4. And an armor.
Where'd you find that, actually?
Oh, wait, no. It's I got Force and Destiny, page 255.
Oh, okay.
And it's not. It doesn't have it. It has a hull threshold of 4 and the system strain threshold of 5. So the hull trauma is it's like the hit points,
right,
for the ship. Now minor collisions on page 256 of Age of the Empire. Let's see. Glancing blow is a minor collision, and head-on hits is a major collision. In the case of a minor collision, all vehicles or starships involved suffer a single critical hit. Subtract the ship's defense, which it doesn't have any defense. If the result is 0, blah blah. All right, so let's just roll on the crit table. So roll a percent chance, a percent dice, and see what happens on this.
Alrighty.
Let me get a piece of paper to keep record of your vehicle, just in case.
12.
12. A 12 on the table means you are jostled. A small explosion or impact. The small impact rocks the vehicle. All crew members suffer 1 strain and are disoriented for 1 round.
Ugh.
So. It's just a crew member, so it doesn't really hit the vehicle itself. So let me see. Car is silhouette 2. 2. Then hull is 4. Strain is 5. Let me get my stats in here quickly. All right. Back to the table. Okay, here's a quick table. There we go. All right. So that was you. Let me see what I get.
Yeah.
Reset. 1 roll. Here we go. I got an 11, so it's the exact same thing. Let me see how these guys take strain. Can't remember if they take strain or if they just goes off the wound threshold directly because they're minions.
I think minions don't take strain.
Yeah, I think they just take wounds. Let me double check that. Sorry about that, but
no, that's okay. That's a good thing to find out.
We had this idea this morning, and it's like didn't have. Okay, so minion rules, page 410 of Age of Rebellion. Unless otherwise specified, minions do not take strain, so that inflicts wounds instead. They do not possess skills.
All right.
Minions can fight as a group. All right. So yeah. So let's just give him a wound here.
Okay. Oh, disoriented. That means I just take a black die to my checks. Okay, that's not so bad.
So does he. So it's not bad.
No.
Right.
But as far as those advantages, my goodness.
So now you're moving through this alley. Because you
right. But the advantages. We didn't narrate these advantages.
We didn't narrate the advantage. That's correct. You could use it to recover strain, I believe. At a rate of, I think it's 1 per. in combat, right? You could just take a one advantage and recover stress, or use it for something else.
Okay, then when you have two advantages, can you spend one on one thing and one on another? Not really. That's one thing.
That's interesting. Probably can, because
and the reason I asked that,
I think you can, because that's the whole point of rolling more than one, right?
Right. In that case, I would negate a strain with one of those advantages, but the other advantage under piloting, the example it gives you gives you a boost die versus the opponent's piloting style, which I assume means just for the next action.
Yeah. So you take a blue die to yourself, right? Is what that does, because it means you're boosting your own action.
Right, but I can see how he's flying, and I'm thinking, okay, we both just whacked into stuff, but I kind of I'm starting to learn his piloting style.
Exactly, and he's not too super skilled, right? So, and I actually rolled the wrong amount of dice, so he's not that good at it. But let's see. Okay, so he's going to use his advantage to boost his own piloting skill as well. So, next round. I'm gonna treat him like this. Okay. And he's going to have a blue dice. So now it's starting to rain, though. So the rain is making it difficult for you guys to keep your eyes on the road correctly, but, you are an expert pilot.
I'm a skilled jockey.
So that
a little disoriented, but a skilled jockey
is not going to affect you. It is going to affect him, though. So let's roll for the second round of combat here. And wow, look at that! Oh, I even rolled a percentage die just in case.
Okay, yeah. Let me grab it. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you got an advantage, but let me roll here. So I am rolling this time. My proficiency or skill is 2 greens and a yellow. I've got a boost die this one time because I'm learning his style. I've got just 1 black die because I think one was I am still disoriented.
You are disoriented, correct? And plus,
but I'm not rolling.
You're not affected by the terrain. Oh, I should roll an extra black for him because I did forget to. He is disoriented.
And then the piloting.
So let me roll an extra black for him. And that's a wash. For him, he gets nothing.
Is it? Okay. So just double checking. So I'm rolling my skill, which is 2 greens and a yellow. A boost die this one time because I'm looking at his piloting style. A purple and a red for the difficulty, and a black because I'm disoriented. So. And boom, let's see what happens there.
Oh, 2 successes.
That's just flat out 2 successes.
That is pretty good.
Okay.
So the way it works, you don't actually get like 2 range bands, right? You just win.
Right.
It's just a plain win.
Right.
So instead, we're now opening up to medium range. From close, it goes to medium, and at least you're gaining some distance on him. Maybe the alley opens up. It bypasses the area of the traffic jam, and you're back on an area of highway, and it's more open, right? It's still within the city, so there's buildings all around, and he's right behind you, though. I mean, he's had to take it a little bit slower, but he rounds the curve and goes with you. So let's see. I know that players can flip a destiny point to make declarations, and in the spirit of fairness, I'm going to flip. Oops, that's not how that works. I'm going to flip one of mine and declare that he calls in reinforcements. So I'm going to have a second speeder bike show up. All right.
Oh.
So here we go. Next round. Let's roll again. And I'm gonna roll. I should roll. I'm gonna treat him like a group of minions. So I'm just not gonna roll anymore.
Oh. I forgot to. I should have removed
clear.
that boost die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to clear.
Yeah.
Well,
it's the whole thing.
Just ignore this boost die. So it's only 3 successes.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
Because I should take that one off.
Oh, and this is not good. See, you're winning already. So you open up the distance, an extra range band to long range. How do you think that goes about? What does that look like?
I think I just get to this point where I find an opening. You know, as some vehicles are going like one way, there's like a guy like loading a bunch of stuff, and it's just that narrow little thing where I can just fit in. And these guys have more maneuverability than I do. They have more speed, but these are like just big, like they're like trucks almost. These big things are they just can't just zip over them. Mm-hmm. There's like laundry hang down over, so they can't pop in there. It's just this thing where it's just that last minute, where I just I can't believe I just got in there. And it passes in a bit, but still, there's enough time that they have to wait.
They have to stop, right? They skid to a stop and then wait for the traffic and start. Their sirens are blaring and the lights, and they start threading their way through the intersection, and they're back coming up behind you. So let's
yelling at people like move, in the stormtrooper voice.
Exactly. So let's roll again and see.
Okay. And am I still The question is, am I still disoriented? Like, how long does that last?
No. That's just for one.
Okay, just one. Okay,
So it goes.
All right. So I'll just back to flat skill versus difficulty here. Oh my goodness! Success with a couple of advantages. I am rolling hot tonight, kids. I don't know why.
Yeah. So that range opens up to extreme. So you're almost shaking them. We're going to say that one more roll and you get out of extreme to out of the conflict, right? So, but you still have 2 advantages there. What do you want to do with those? Let's take a look here. Let's see if piloting tells us.
Can I? Yeah, piloting just learn their style. I'm wondering if I can apply any difficulty to their role.
If you got 2. And you're in combat, you can actually add a penalty to them. So I don't see why not. You could add a black die to them, right? A setback. If you narrate how you're doing your how your piloting is, that you're making things hard for them. Like you could knock over trash containers, or you could I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Something to put in their path to make it more difficult for them.
As I'm zipping by the speaker, I've got a little bit more room now, and I see like a water tower sort of thing out there. I take the carbine and I shoot out the one of the legs from it and make this thing just like slam down behind me.
So that the terrain is now even
I'm just going
worse. For broke. And now it's it's not only raining, but this water thing is in the way, so they're going to have to swerve around it. And I think I should roll independently for both of them for next roll, right? To see what happens. So let's see what happens to pilot number 1 and pilot number 2. All right. So pilot number 1 actually succeeds, and what
is he the guy that gets in front of the water tower,
I think he, the water tower goes down and some of the legs are sticking out the back, and he manages to thread his way through the legs.
He's that guy.
But the other guy is just completely stops, and the water soaks him and maybe just throws him out of the bike, and he's out of the chase. But the second guy
looking back behind me,
is hanging in there. So why don't you roll your piloting check and see? Oh wow!
Oh,
so you
success with 2 threat.
Yeah, so you do manage to win that roll. So the whole water tower. I mean, even though this guy manages to thread his way past the legs of the broken water tower, you actually manage to pull ahead, right? So it's not enough, but you take 2 threat. So See, the first thing that pops into mind would be a vehicle stress, right? Maybe the vehicle just gets. Oh wait, what would be even more interesting? See, this is the point where one has to consider. I don't think 2 threat is enough to say that they have. Well, you know what it could be? It could be that they have a good enough reading on your, like they took your ID basically, right? Is they have a good ID on you?
That's awesome.
So you know, is that because I was going to say maybe they can track you, but tracking you sounds like a despair or a triumph for them or something like that. I'm going to say that they managed to get like some sort of serial number read off of your droid model or something. So there's something to track you with. How about that?
Okay, that's fantastic. At this point, have I opened up the range band big enough that I've lost them? Or
this has gone beyond extreme, so you have completely lost them in traffic or whatever it is that we want to call it.
All right. So now my intention is to slow it down. Mm-hmm. Get don't stop looking so darn suspicious. Mm-hmm. And get back to where Reap is. But wait, no, I'm going to stop. Mm-hmm. Because I've just risked my life, and I don't even know if the contraband's really still there. So I'm just going to do one of those kind of pull over into an alley and look behind the cushion, and see if this contraband that I've been sent to go get is actually still in this vehicle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, let's have it be in there. What would this contraband be? Let's think of something, because again, all I had was the break the vehicle out of the impound setup for your character. Everything else we're just making up as we go along. So, what could we have this contraband be? What do you think is interesting? If you get any ideas?
Well, Reap's kind of a jerk. It's not going to be anything to help the rebellion or anything like that. It's not going to be anything altruistic.
No, it's probably spies or maybe stolen. I don't know, computer parts or droid parts. I don't know. It's
actually a record of the affair that a high-level Imperial senator was having.
Oh, so it's blackmail.
Which is blackmail material that his rival would pay handsomely for. It's the only known record of this illicit affair.
Oh, interesting.
And he said, which would completely destroy his political career.
Oh, that's pretty good. Let's see. Okay, that sounds like a good plan. So there's blackmail on
including some of his wife's jewelry that he gave to
his mistress. Yeah,
stuff that you could not duplicate. It's not just recording; it's actual physical evidence.
It's a classic. Yeah, it's. Oh, nice.
Like I have your earrings,
Yeah, what is it? The diamond studs from the book of
diamond you couldn't find,
Yeah.
Some straight out of the Three Musketeers, practically.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. That's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I like the sound of that. So. Okay. So that's in there.
So it's still there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was hidden behind one of the cushions for the car. I mean, the vehicle had been impounded, but it hadn't been, dismantled yet, because they usually do pretty good searches on those. But they impounded it for a completely different reason. So
Well, I do one of the only things I can do in a situation like. And I open up my torso and put this stuff in my middle compartment, my little smuggler's compartment.
Excellent. All right. So how do you proceed from here? What's next?
Oh, from here, I'm gonna try to drive this thing back to where Reap is without causing any undue attention.
Okay. Okay, so you merge back into traffic, and it's a bit crowded. Rain eases up, so you're moving now towards the spaceport sector of the city. Again, no major incidents. You do see a couple of patrol cars, patrol speeders moving in the opposite direction, but nothing here yet. But as you reach landing pad 47, where Reap's beat up ship is, you notice that there is a patrol speeder parked outside, and you see two stormtroopers going inside.
Oh, I just keep driving. That's like when you're driving. You're driving past your friend's house and the cops are there. No, you just keep going.
No.
Not gonna go. Not gonna. Hey, what's up with Jim? No. Just keep driving. Yeah. I'm heard it.
Nice. So let's see.
Okay.
So do you stop and try to look from a vantage position, or what do you do, or listen on the, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive just like another pad or two down. Something where I can still see. Park behind another ship, as if I really belong there. Get out and try to look through the like almost like the landing ramp, the gangplank, looking like through that gangplank, where the little struts are holding it, or like the struts would pull it back up. I'm kind of leaning up against there, and at the same time, I'm trying to open up my channel to see if I can hear what's going on with Reap. I'm not going to hail him.
Okay.
I'm going to try to eavesdrop.
And you're outside the landing pad, right? Trying to look inside the landing pad. Is that the idea? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's one of those circular type of jobs like they have in Mos Eisley, but there are some areas. This city again is a backwaters world. This landing pad is let's flip one of those white destiny points just to declare that there's an area where this thing is in such disrepair that there are panels missing from that perimeter wall, so you can actually see through what would otherwise be a solid metallic wall, right? There's areas missing, maybe some of the plates have been stolen for the metal, right? To be sold on the black market, so it's heavily.
So I don't actually flip one of these. What do you actually hit to flip those?
The button itself, the marker on top, the round thing. Just click it on top. There you go.
Oh, okay. I got you. I didn't do it hard enough. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So I'll say that you with that use of the destiny point, it's enough for you to hear the what's going on inside, and the stormtroopers are standing by the ramp, and you can see that there is a gravitic clamp on the landing struts of the ship, and
a boot. Oh no!
One of those boots. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
He's got a boot. Oh, yeah. Not paying his taxes.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So then that's what he was trying to clear up, right? That's why he sent you to get the speeder, because he was trying to clear this whole boot business, and it doesn't seem to be working. So you see the two stormtroopers at the ramp, and he's talking to them. He's like, it's not me. I have nothing. I'm trying to pay the fine to remove the gravitic boot, and that's it, man. It's like I'm just trying to do business, and I understand the account is somewhat in arrears, but we can get through this. And you can see that he's in trouble. He doesn't have enough money to pay that landing fee. So the troopers demand payment. They say, the owner of the spaceport has requested that you pay this fee. Otherwise, we are impounding this ship, and we are taking you to a restraining cell for not paying your debts.
Really?
Yeah. So he's got to get arrested. You might want to, whatever you want to do. You might want to get arrested and then try and liberate the ship, or whatever you want to do.
Well, what kind of ship is this that he has? It's going to be impounded.
Let's see. We can't have it be too cool a ship. It's a beat up.
No, it's just kind of a jerk.
Yeah, it's a beat up. I should get my Edge of the Empire book. I have all 3 books out while we're playing this game. That'll be
pretty much a YT crapola.
Yeah. That's probably exactly what he has. Let's see. Blast boat. No, something that can do hyperspace. Oh, let's try this one, because I never used these. Is it the Star Galleon? No, that's not it. Wayfarer class medium freighter. That's the other one.
Which book are you looking in?
Edge of the Empire. Page 264 is the stats. The description is on the page behind, but it's the illustration at the bottom of page 264. It's that orange and white type of vehicle, which I hear is quite popular.
Man, that's ugly.
Yeah, because I hear that's one of the other. I believe that's the other alternative starting ship when you play Edge of the Empire. It's either the Wayfarer or the YT 1300. Of course, everybody picks up the YT 1300. Right. So
it's it's 264 in the actual book.
In the Edge of the Empire book is page 264. That's the Wayfarer.
Yeah, okay.
But now
that is.
Yeah. And that's the illustration at the bottom of 264. You can see 3 of those ships. There's one in the foreground and 2 in the background. I do believe I have the right ship.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. They are, yeah, they're okay. Yeah, they're not hideous looking. They're just kind of ugly.
Oh, hey,
that's okay. It kind of looks like a
Sam is in the chat, and so is Todd. I'm sorry, I'm so busy. Yeah. We're just such.
Yeah, and I saw that. I think we'll see how it buffers actually at the end of the day.
All right. So.
Yeah. So that sounds fine.
What are you going to do with the work?
I'm gonna completely. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and do my best and whistle like I belong someplace else.
Yep.
Actually, I'm gonna start this other ship that I'm next to. I'm just gonna start kind of look like I'm just checking things and doing little, doing a pre-trip, little pre-trip check.
Yep, that's just a maintenance droid. Nothing to see here, right? So
that's right. Yeah, my best impression of a maintenance droid.
So you see Reap, start out. You're really confident, and as the conversation progresses, he starts like whining, and a couple of minutes later, he's basically just crying and struggling against the troopers, and the troopers have got him in cuffs and are moving him out. And he's like, "It's not me. I pay my bills. It's like I just gonna finish a transaction today, and I will pay you the money. I'll have enough to pay the fee. Just give me 2 hours to complete the transaction." And that he was planning on completing the smuggling deal this afternoon within the next couple of hours. So maybe he's waiting to get paid for that, and that's how he meant to pay the fee. Or maybe he was just trying to bribe the spaceport officer to get the gravitic boot off, right? But you know that the deal goes down in a couple of hours anyway, so.
Well, his ship's got a gravitic boot on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the ship that I'm in front of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
that I'm hiding behind.
Nice.
I'm looking around like, what? If I have the details of where we're supposed to go.
Yeah, why not? Sure. I mean, you're his partner.
And I'm just
right?
kind of looking at. I'm looking at. Well, no, I'm not his partner. I'm looking at this restraining bolt on me. I'm looking like I know that restraining bolt or.
That's right. That's right.
On the ship, and he has the codes, and because he's so paranoid, he doesn't want anybody else to have the codes. So he's like, okay, well, this worked out well. I have the goods. I have no reap, and all I need is a tall ship and a starter sailor by.
Nice. Sure, why not? Let's go with this. Let's call it one of those nice. What is it? Fire spray? Is that the one that Boba Fett pilots? Yeah, there's a fire spray in there. I don't know if we have stats for the fire spray. They might be in a different book. Let's see if it's in Age of Rebellion. It might be.
Oh no, here it is. It's page 255. Fire spray system patrol craft.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Those are hyper capable, right? Because that's what Boba Fett has. Yeah, it says nav computer. Hyperdrive. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there's a fire spray. Yeah, all sitting there.
Yeah, I'm just kind of walking like I'm still doing my repairs, sort of like whistling.
Mm-hmm.
Press all the buttons to close the hatch.
The hatch is closed, though. You have to open it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to open the hatch. All right. How good am I at opening the hatch? Let's see. Let's see his stats here. He's not terribly good at hatch opening. I don't believe. Where's my picture of my stats? Ah, here we go. Well, let's see. Skullduggery.
Skullduggery is a skill. That is correct.
Yeah. I think we'll try skullduggery. I mean, there's computers and there's skullduggery, but I think, I'll tell you what. We'll make it computers. If that's applicable. Just trying to think of.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose technically I'm supposed to declare the action, and you're supposed to declare the skill. I think is how we're supposed to do this.
Technically, it's supposed to be skullduggery because whenever you try to break into, like, do any thief, what in D&D would be a thief skill, I do believe it's skullduggery. Yeah. Let's look at it real quick. Broad range of skills. Includes picking locks, breaking into and out of secure facilities, stuff like that. So electronics. Some electronic locks could require computers, skullduggery, or both. So we could do either. I mean, if you want to force the lock, that would be skullduggery. If you want to see if you can bypass the keypad, sort of break the code, right, like a digital code on the thing. There's maybe a computer port on the outside, so you want to break any sort of computer lock, then I guess you could do that with computers. So,
well, let's treat this like trying to start the ship in our last game. Let me go with straight computers first.
All right.
Before I have to.
So I am going to say that. That's probably a hard computers check. I'm saying that there's some good. There is some good security on this ship to prevent people from doing exactly what you want to do. So that's going to be a hard check, which is 3.
Okay.
3 purple dice.
Okay, so that's straight
3
3
purples.
and 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
my chances are not good, but let's find out.
Oh. So, interesting. So all you get is an advantage.
Oh, I didn't see the result yet.
Oh, it's
okay.
It's just an advantage. So the way this works, I would suppose that this could just give you a boost die to your next check. But it doesn't look like you'd be able to break this code, right? Because you figure that you've managed, it's a triple lock, and you've managed to pull back one of the tumblers, but then the computer system shut down on you. So if you try some sort of manual override, you should have an advantage to do that. That makes sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So you it kind of helped a little bit, but now the computer's locked out, but one of the physical locks has been removed. So breaking in with skullduggery should be easier.
Okay, so would that give me a boost die for
That would give you a
skullduggery?
boost die, and skullduggery is actually going to be a difficulty of 2. It's an average skullduggery.
Okay. All right.
Now that you have managed to break the security down, it's just going to be 2 purple dice plus 1 blue.
Okay, my skull. All right. And my skullduggery is 1 green, 1 yellow. Yeah, because it's based on my cunning, not my intellect. So yeah, so it's because my other one was 3 dice. Because it was based on it was on intellect. This is more cunning, so 3 intellect and 2 cunning to use game speak.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's make it more dramatic and interesting. And let me flip that. Let me flip that Black Destiny and bump up that difficulty to 1 red and 1 purple. Instead of 2 purple, 1 red and 1 purple.
Oh, dun. Yeah. Right, I can hear the music.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's taking longer than you thought. But still.
Yes.
Still, let's see. So that succeeds. So that completely opens the locks. What else? Let's see. Okay, so if you look at skullduggery, just for reference, because part of what we're doing is trying to learn like the parameters of that. So see, with advantages, you would gain additional items or identify additional target. What could we call that? And the other one was computers, but computers was the last check. So,
So we're calling it the 2 advantages is
yeah, because you
skullduggery.
Yeah, and the recommendations in the text is gain additional items and identify additional target. But none of those really apply in this situation because you're just opening a lock, right? So,
right, but I guess
what do you think?
What I'd like to do then with a couple advantages is I want to, once I pass in, I want to close the hatch back, but like change the lock codes.
Oh, excellent.
Like in so doing, I want to do it so the actual rightful owner is locked out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that sounds good. So yeah. So you managed to change the locks on the thing. So or
at least make it as hard for him to get in as me.
As it was for you, exactly. Excellent. So you have now possession of a fire spray system patrol craft.
All right. So I know the rendezvous is a couple hours. So looking for the call number of the ship and just like, broadcasting, such and such, ship, ship Y4N -7GG4, clear, requesting clearance for takeoff.
Oh, that's interesting. So the air traffic controller, the aerospace traffic controller, chimes in and says, 1477G, we have no flight plan posted for this vehicle. There's no flight plan on record. Please verify.
Negative function.
Negative.
Still negative function, sir. Yeah, I've got my James Earl Jones. Negative. We transmitted flight plan, to Coruscant 2 hours ago. We request immediate clearance for takeoff.
All right, so let's have you make a check for this. Let's roll that.
Is this going to be a social thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're so good at those, nothing ever goes wrong.
What's my deception? Yeah, my deception is my deception is cunning, so it's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, and we said that it's all opposed by discipline, which goes off of willpower. So
right. I wonder how disciplined this guy is. He's probably not more disciplined.
Yeah, no, he's not that. He's a little bit more disciplined than the droid, but it's going to be 2 purples difficulty. I'm going to say that since you do have the correct transponder codes and you are transmitting from inside the ship, you should get a blue die.
Oh, right. Woo.
Yeah. Let's see. And I have no dice to flip here. You know what? I'm going to say that the pattern is full, Ghost Rider. So add a black die because it's there's traffic, there's aerospace traffic. So add a black die to that deception check because he's not inclined to let you go through. I mean, it's so busy. It's rush hour, and
Right. Exactly.
Oh man! Wow, you're
unbelievably a success.
You're hot tonight. Everything that you're rolling.
Why the hell can't I roll like this? An all for one. Why the hell couldn't we? Exactly. Which means the next time I play all for one, I've used up all my mojo here. Get my ass handed to me. All right.
Exactly. Well, hopefully, Anthony used up all his bat luck running his new. Oh God! Demonstrating his new dice this morning because everything was like a failure, and it's like he got ones and ones and ones and nothing. So, so he says. All right, I suppose we could make an exception, hold pattern for 5 minutes while we clear the airspace, and I will notify you back when it's time to take off. So 5
minutes. 5 minutes. So this is bad. So.
See.
All right.
Should we have the owner show back up?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Sure. Why not? Right.
This isn't Star Trek. It's not 2D20. You can just drop these things because it makes sense.
Yeah, because it's like. So you start powering up the engines, right? Because the pre-flight check, and you got to power off the thing and. Get it ready for takeoff. So when you start powering up, suddenly out of the entrance of the landing pad, this what are these called? What are the I forget the name. What is the Bosk, the bounty hunter, the guys that look like reptiles,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The one that didn't say a darn thing, but just stood there,
And looking badass.
I know what you're talking
that's
about. Yeah.
him. It's got to be here in the character options. Come on. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Trandoshan. There we go. Trandoshan shows up, and he's armed with what? Let's see what he's armed with. Is he even armed? But he's got a blaster rifle. Why not? So he starts running toward the ship because he hears the engine, and he starts punching keys in the lock, and well, you made it pretty hard for him to get through. So when he realizes that he can't open and he bangs on the door for a couple of times, he starts running off back toward the exit. Maybe he's gonna go get somebody. So
okay, well, it's time to take off now. So I'm just not gonna wait.
All right, excellent. So ship lifts off, and immediately you hear, wait, the 177. The timer is not done. The pattern is still full. You can't take off now. Stand by. We're getting. You need to set down immediately.
And I just transfer acknowledge clearance for takeoff. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
We enjoyed the stay on the planet. I just click.
Thank you. Bye bye. Yeah. So you lift off. Now we have two options here. Do you want to even attempt the starship combat, or should we just skip ahead to the next planet? Because we ran into trouble last time we did ship combat. So you tell me.
Well, I think if anything else, with that much traffic involved, I don't know if it is a combat, or I'd be interested to see whether I actually make it.
Oh, a piloting check
through this through this horrific combat. I imagine there's some difficulties involved here.
So let us see if we can apply the same principles of a chase to this, and or look at the terrain rules. Okay, the silhouette is 4, and the maximum speed is 4. So
right,
if you punch it to 4, half silhouette is 2, so you would have 2 reds and 2 purples if you punch it to a speed of 4 for your piloting check, which is pretty harsh, but it's interesting.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go that fast. I just want to I don't want this guy to.
Mm-hmm. So if you got,
I want to try to avoid it.
Yeah, if you go a speed of 2, it's still 2 reds, I think. Because
because of the bigger silhouette.
Yeah, let me look at the terrain rules just once more, because I did look at the chase rules, and it's pretty much the same thing. But let's see. Okay, stellar phenomena or terrain page. Which book are you using?
Right now I'm in. Right now I'm in Edge of the Empire, but yeah.
Page 240 in Edge. Page 240. Okay, space is full of obstacles. Here we go. The rules applied, flying, blah, blah, blah. When making a piloting check, the difficulty is equal to the vehicle's starship current speed or half its silhouette, rounding up. The lower of the 2 values indicates how many times the difficulty check is upgraded. Yeah, so that's exactly how that goes. So...
Mm-hmm.
So we're saying then that a silhouette of 4, its half silhouette is 2, and if you're going at speed 2, then that's the 2 dice get upgraded. So it's 2 reds. Whatever it is, it's 2 reds.
Now we got these navigation hazards.
And then we add the navigation hazards, which we just add black die on top of that.
Right.
So let's call it... what the hell? The pattern is full. Let's call it 2 black dice, because why not?
Okay, cool. All right, so then I gotta eliminate 1 skill Jackie.
Oh, excellent.
Oh,
hang on. You add the handling of the ship as bonus dice. If the ship has any handling, said it was 255. And the fire spray has a handling of 0.
Okay, so yeah, it's not going to help me out.
Nope,
okay,
nope.
thanks. I stole a crappy ship. That's cool looking. I look like Boba Fett now.
Exactly.
All right, so that my piloting skill is green and 2 yellows. Is actually my space piloting is really good.
Cool. And
I've got 2 reds and a.
And you still have destiny points, and they're both white. So
yeah, I'm gonna flip one of those suckers to make it 3 yellows.
Okay, there you go.
I'm gonna go for broke here. May the force be with me.
Yes, indeed.
And I say that out loud, even though that's the most ridiculous thing for a droid to ever say by himself in a stolen ship. May the force be with me. Once again, I would turn off the radio. And I figure I look at the traffic. I can see the signals. I'm like, this is going to be difficult. and here I go, going for broke. Oh my goodness!
Oh come on! And mine didn't update. Let me refresh the screen right here. Come on, what is it? Oh, is that a wash? Oh no! Wait. Oh, 3 successes. Oh come on!
I know. I can't believe it.
You're just breezing through. Yeah.
Well, threats cancel. I don't know why I'm rolling like this because I swear, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad right there.
Oh, 3 advantages.
All the threats got canceled out.
Yeah. Oh, you got 3 advantages. That's remarkable. But now you see those talents. When you see those talents that negate black dice, first time you read them, you're like, oh, this is never going to come up. But then it's important for the GM to remember to keep throwing those black dice in, because that's when your talented people shine, right? It's like, nope, I don't care about that black die. So yeah, there's like ships going down, and then the fire spray is going up, and last minute they swerve out
weaving
of the way.
in and out of them.
Yeah. And you can hear the well, you don't hear him. You just shut him off. You hear the guy screaming at you from the and you turn off the.
Oh yeah, there's all these threats, but there's all these advantages at the same time. Canceling.
Yeah. And alarms are beeping, all over the ship. Collision alarms are beep, beep, beep.
Right, so I'm taking all those into all those threats are being canceled out by these great piloting moments and everything like that. But it's just near miss after near miss after near miss.
Exactly.
As I'm zipping through there.
Yeah.
and finally get into the atmosphere, and then once I get into the ionosphere, and I just realize I've made it. I'm punching it to the coordinates.
Excellent.
To the rendezvous.
Yeah. Nice. So
doing an astrogation. Do I have to do an astrogation check? Yeah. Well, let's see. Do I make it there? Let's make an astrogation check and see if I actually make it to the right place.
Let's take a look at astrogation.
I just want to see if
that is one of those skills that doesn't really get called upon a lot, and it's probably interesting at least. Let's see. I would call for it like in combat. If you got ships pursuing you, it would make sense that you would have to do astrogation before the other ships catch up, right? So.
Yeah. I can't imagine anybody would try to chase a stolen ship that just took off without clearance.
Inconceivable. Let's see, astrogation.
Yeah.
Need to program that. It's based upon the area, generally an easy check. See page 246. So, astrogation modifiers. Damage or missing astromech? No. Quick calculations under pursuit, so it's +1 difficulty. Okay, so it's already 2 purples for difficulty. Purples for difficulty. Let me see if there's any additional modifiers. Yeah, okay, so what happens is the ship is climbing, it hits the upper atmosphere, and then suddenly you start seeing lights beep on the communicators, and the sensors are also starting to flash. Do you pay any attention to those, or are you just busy programming the...
Oh, I'm busy. I'm busy programming.
Okay, so you're so busy that then the blast hits like outside the ship, and the light just calls your attention, and you realize that when you look at the sensors, there's a couple of system patrol craft on your tail. So you got to make these calculations to light speed fast. And you got to make some evasive maneuvers because these guys are catching up, right? So let's add 2 black dice to that astrogation roll because you got a couple of ships, and you're all by yourself.
And what's my difficulty?
2 purples.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So 2 purples and 2 blacks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that makes sense. And so my astrogation isn't bad. It's based on intellect. I got 3 intellect. I put one skill point into that, so it's 2 greens and a yellow. So let's go for broke here. Let's see if I actually am able to make the calculations.
Yes, you are.
Success with 2 threat.
Okay, so 2 threat. So it makes sense. That the ship takes system strain as it goes into hyper, right? What does the actual skill say?
Let's look at that.
Let's look it up just for learning purposes, right? Again, this is the whole purpose of this exercise, and of course, Star Wars is fun, so we're playing for both things. Okay, the threat generated could decrease the accuracy or increase the travel time or simply cause a character to miss relevant details. Interesting. So I think that the ship just takes strain, right? Because the calculations are a bit hasty, and you override the safeties on the hyperdrive to just push them through and jump, right? So that causes system strain on the ship. But you do actually manage to see the starfield elongate, and the pursuit system craft are not hyperspace capable. So soon, a couple of blasts light up the screen, but as soon as that hyperdrive kicks in, you do manage to get away free and clear. So
right, and as the screen fades to black, I look and I notice that there's a pack of cigarettes. Whatever. And I realize, I pick one up and realize I have no lungs.
Exactly. Put it back.
Put it back.
Nice. Excellent. All right.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, this is cool. I mean, this is what Sam said, that the system supports just one player. Right, so we can actually... This is something we can do on off Thursdays, right, when nobody else shows up, and you still have like a couple of people. This could handle 1 or 2 people, and it's just nice to run something completely on the fly. Like, I had no idea for this game. It was just get the speeder out of the impound. That's the only thing, and a security droid at the gate. That's all the prep I did. And you could do a little bit more prep, right? But it's just a starting situation, and the idea is that the dice will help you escalate. But if not, you still have like a picture. Like I knew you were breaking a speeder out, so it's like a chase is the most natural thing to do after that. So,
right, absolutely. No, that was good just to be able to check, to use some of the system, because it's been a while since I've really read it. I'm going through all stuff now, and I'm like, this, I forgot that, and you just have to do it. And like we were talking about, like it's a matter of like, how much am I allowed to make up here? Like I don't want to under narrate, but I want to over narrate. So this is that part where we have to look and get that feel for like, okay, what is this really worth?
Yeah, and I think that's a good practice, right? Just take a quick look at the skill. Did the skill say anything? Does that suggest anything that might be interesting to note for future reference?
Right.
The combat is still a good source, right? Because the combat is very specific on like the 2 advantages can give a black die to your opponent, or can give a blue die to your friend, right? A single advantage can give the blue die to yourself, but if there were like 2 players, 2 advantage could give the die to the other guy. So
right.
You know, those are basic benchmarks, I think. You know.
Yeah, those that's a good thing. Like we're gonna have to do some more combat to get to kind of drill that into my head, because the thing I thought of the very first time I saw the dice is like I could probably, if I understood the core mechanic, play with just these dice and make stuff up, but you wouldn't have a guideline. You wouldn't and so you need something to kind of put in your head. Well, what is one advantage versus 3 advantage? What's the
but again,
how much should I inherit? Because sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's super important in combat, because combat, everything has to be balanced, right? You don't want to overdo it.
Right.
The screen, the GM screen actually has like the spending advantage and triumphs in combat from page 206. It hasn't printed it out, but I have the screen, but I suppose if you can print out 1 page, right, or keep it open in the window, that's a good reference for what to do with those. Is this the right page? It says combat. Yeah, it's page.
I think it was.
In
what was the thing I was thinking about? The thing I was thinking about was getting those. I think it was 2 advantages in the chase, and I decided I shot the leg off of a water tower. Because like, how do you give a black eye to those guys? Well, to do something like that.
And that's where we don't need to get hung up on, because the actual mechanical effect is preserved. It's just a black die. So
right, exactly.
It's everything else is color fiction, right? So you make good fiction. You just shoot the thing and the thing collapses, right? But the mechanical effect doesn't break the game, because the mechanical effect is just a black die. So
right.
So it doesn't.
No, that's perfect. Yeah.
In other games, it would be like, well, you can't shoot because you're driving and you already took an action. And you can't roll to hit. You don't need to do that, right? It's just color. It's just going to give a black die to the other guy. So might as well make it as interesting and as Star Wars as possible, right? And what better way to do that than by just shooting? I think it's great.
Now, like in combat, like one advantage is will give yourself a blue die.
Yeah.
More
for your next.
So it seemed like if I was in that chase, like an advantage, if I rolled 1 advantage, it might be like, oh, I see this alleyway over here, this thing over here, so I give myself a blue die to get. Exactly. But having those 2 advantages, I can say, oh no, actually, I just shoot the leg off this water tower and I give them a black die.
Exactly, and
okay, that's good.
And you could narrate, it's a chase. It's like, it could be like, okay, we're going into a tunnel now, and and do some fun stuff in a tunnel, like use the traffic or use the tight walls, and that's, again, I think that's the beauty of the system, because you're narrating, I'm narrating.